Have you ever wondered why your life seems to be falling apart? Why anxiety consumes you and why you feel so isolated from the world? What if I told you none of this is an accident? What if I revealed that your soul has already been warned by Deus about a massive event that's on its way? Pay close attention, because the Biblia warns us that the time for chaos is now, but it also shows us that Jesus Christo has already prepared a plan of salvation for you. This is not a time for fear, but for faith. The truth you're about to discover in this video isn't for everyone. It's for the chosen ones, those willing to hear the call of Deus and follow the path of salvation. Your pain, your confusion, and your isolation are actually a sign. It's your body, your soul, and the Holy Spirit warning you that it's time to act. But it's not the action you imagine. It's a call to stillness, to observation, to trust in a divine plan that is already in motion. You urgently need to understand why Deus is removing people from your life, why your financial and emotional problems are an act of protection, and how your inner peace will be your most powerful weapon. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn here could save your soul and prepare you for what's coming. If you believe in Deus and feel called by Jesus Christo, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anyone who needs this message. Oh hey there, my friend. Glad you're here. I've got something really heavy to share with you, something I feel in my bones that God wants us all to hear. You know, sometimes you just get that gut feeling, that little whisper that something big is on the horizon, don't you? Well, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just a feeling, it's a divine warning. The Bible is full of these moments, times when a messenger from on high delivers a crucial heads up to a chosen one. Think of Noah, for example. The world was going about its business, eating and drinking, and Noah was getting a heads up from the Creator about a massive flood that was going to reset everything. People probably thought he was nuts, right? Well, just like Noah, your very soul has already been tipped off about a massive event on its way. This isn't just some random hiccup in the universe, it's what some call a cosmic reset, a mass awakening, or for some, sadly, a mass cataclysm. The difference, my friend, all boils down to your faith and how you've been living your life with Jesus Christ in the driver's seat. There's a reason you're feeling this sense of urgency, this pull towards something greater. Your spiritual senses are on high alert because your soul knows what's coming. It's like a built-in alarm system God gave you. You know, you'll find in Isaiah 26:20 it says, "Come, my people, enter your chambers and shut your doors behind you. Hide yourselves for a little while until the wrath is past." That's a powerful image, isn't it? It's God saying, "Hey, a storm is brewing and I've already told you about it. Now it's time to get ready." This isn't about fear, it's about preparation. This event isn't an accident, it's part of a much bigger plan from the Creator of the universe. What's coming is meant to shake things up, to separate the wheat from the chaff, and to reveal the true depth of one's faith. So if you've been feeling that little voice inside, that spiritual ping, don't you dare ignore it. It's your soul, informed by the divine, telling you to pay attention. Now, you might be thinking, what am I supposed to do about this? I'm glad you asked. It's not about running around screaming or panicking. That's what the world would do. The Bible reminds us in Philippians 4:6-7, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ." The message from the divine isn't one of terror, it's one of a call to action, but not the action you might expect. It's a call to turn inward, to listen, and to trust that God has a plan. This reset or awakening is a turning point, a moment where the world as we know it is going to shift. The way you've prepared your heart and mind through your faith will determine which side of that shift you find yourself on. I mean, look at what Jesus Christ did when he was about to face the most massive event in human history. He didn't run and hide. He went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray and be still. He knew what was coming, and he knew the only way through it was by connecting with his Father, God. This is our model. Our souls have been warned, and now we're being called to prepare ourselves in a similar way. This isn't about physical survival as much as it is about spiritual survival. It's about having your foundation built on the rock of faith so that when the winds and waves of this cataclysm come, your house won't fall. The world will be scrambling, trying to make sense of the chaos, but you, the chosen one, will already have the peace that only comes from knowing what the Lord has in store. You're probably wondering what this event will look like. Honestly, no one knows for sure. The Bible tells us in Matthew 24:36, But about that day or hour no one knows. Not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. But that doesn't mean we can't be ready. The signs are everywhere, if you just open your eyes and your heart. The chaos, the anxiety, the sense of impending change that you and many others are feeling, it's all part of the signal. God is preparing His people. And the first step of that preparation is hearing the warning and accepting it with an open heart. This isn't about being scared. It's about being ready. This is an invitation to prepare for something truly transformative, something that will change everything. And that preparation starts with a simple, profound choice: to enter a period of sacred stillness. So now that we've grasped the weight of this divine warning, the big question looms. What's the next step? Well, my friend, the message from above isn't a call to arms, but a call to stillness. It's a profound instruction to enter a period of sacred silence and observation. Think of it like this. When God was about to speak to Elijah, the Bible says in 1 Kings 19 that there was a great wind, an earthquake, and a fire. But God wasn't in any of those. He spoke to Elijah in a gentle whisper. Isn't that something? Amidst all the chaos and noise of the world, our guidance comes not from the clamor but from the quiet. This is exactly what's being asked of you now. Resist the temptation to jump into action, to react to the external chaos. That's exactly what the world wants you to do. But Jesus Christ teaches us a different way, a better way, a way of quiet strength. You see, this is a test of your faith. In our modern hustle culture world, sitting still feels like we're losing ground. We feel like we have to be doing something, anything. But this is where the spiritual wisdom kicks in. This period of stillness isn't idleness, it's an active, powerful state of being. It's you, with God, in a sacred space, waiting for instructions. It's like a soldier waiting for the commander's orders before charging into battle. You wouldn't want to run in blindly, would you? Proverbs 14:12 reminds us that there is a way that appears to be right, but in the end, it leads to death. Don't let your own impulses or the world's chaos lead you down the wrong path. Instead, turn off the noise and tune into the divine signal. What does this stillness look like in real life? Well, it's not about becoming a hermit, but about creating pockets of sacred silence in your day. It could be 10 minutes of quiet prayer in the morning, a few moments of meditation on a verse from the Bible, or just a walk in nature where you actively listen for God's voice. I remember a friend who was going through a tough time at work. He felt like he had to fix everything at once. I told him to just be still, to pray and to read Psalm 46:10, which says, "Be still and know that I am God." He started doing this, and you know what? The solution didn't come from his frantic efforts. It came when he was in a moment of quiet reflection. The answer just popped into his head, clear as day. That's the power of this stillness. This quiet period is also a time for deep spiritual recalibration. God is preparing you for what's next. He's not just going to drop a plan on you out of the blue. He's going to guide you step by step. And you'll only hear those steps if you're listening. The world around you will be loud with news, with opinions, with fear. But your inner sanctuary, the one you're building now, will be a place of peace. This isn't just about surviving the storm. It's about thriving in it. It's about having such a strong connection to Jesus Christ that you become a beacon of light for others who are lost in the dark. Your quiet faith will be your loudest testimony. And you might be thinking, but what if I miss the instructions? Don't you worry about that for a second. God's got you. He's not a cosmic prankster. When the time is right, the instructions will be crystal clear. The key is to prepare the vessel, your mind, your heart, your spirit. This quiet season is the preparation. It's you saying to God, I trust you. I'm ready to listen. This leads us to the next point about the incredible role your intuition plays in all of this, because that little voice inside of you is the very tool God is using to guide you right now. Now, let's talk about that little voice inside you. That hunch, that gut feeling, that sense that you should go left when everyone else is going right. That's not just a coincidence, my friend. It's a divine compass, a holy homing beacon that God has placed inside of you. The Bible calls it the Spirit of Truth in John 14:17, saying that it lives with you and will be in you. Think of it as a personal spiritual guidance system from Jesus Christ himself. During this period of quietness, your intuition becomes your most trusted ally. It's the code or inner voice that will help you navigate the coming storm when logic and reason fail. You might be thinking, But how can I tell the difference between my intuition and just my own thoughts? That's a great question, and it's a common struggle. The key is in practice and faith. Your intuition, when it's from God, often comes with a sense of peace, clarity, and a certain rightness to it. It's not loud or demanding, it's subtle, often just a flicker of understanding. On the other hand, a lot of our own thoughts are rooted in fear, anxiety, or ego. They tend to be noisy and pushy. A great example of this is when Peter, in Matthew 14:28-29, stepped out of the boat to walk on water towards Jesus. He had a moment of pure faith and listened to that inner call. He trusted his intuition. But when he took his eyes off Jesus and focused on the storm, the external chaos, he started to sink. The lesson? Trust the inner voice, not the outer noise. This is a time to pay close attention to your body and your spirit. Have you ever had a sudden alarm bell go off inside you about a situation or a person? Maybe it's a feeling of unease that you can't quite explain. Don't ignore it. That's your intuition, your inner warning system, doing its job. I had a friend who was offered a too-good-to-be-true business deal. All the numbers looked great on paper, but he had this persistent feeling in his gut that something was off. He prayed on it, read the Bible for guidance, and listened to that small, quiet voice. He ended up declining the offer, and wouldn't you know it, a few months later the whole thing collapsed. He was so grateful he trusted his gut. He realized that his intuition, guided by God, saved him from a world of trouble. So how do you sharpen this divine tool? By spending time with Jesus Christ in prayer and in His Word. The more you saturate your mind and heart with the teachings of the Bible, the more your intuition will be aligned with the divine will. It's a muscle you have to work. When you're in that state of quietness we talked about, you're not just waiting. You're listening and learning to distinguish the divine voice from all the others. This process is crucial because the world is about to get very loud, and you'll need a reliable compass. The chaos is coming, and it will challenge everything you think you know, which leads us perfectly to the next topic about the signs and the restructuring happening around you. Okay, let's get down to some brass tacks. I know you've been feeling it. That inexplicable anxiety, the vivid dreams that leave you a bit shaken, and that strong, almost overwhelming desire to just withdraw and be on your own. My friend, these aren't random quirks of your mind or emotions. They are warning signs, signals from your body and soul that a significant change is on the horizon. This is your internal system, guided by God, preparing you for the shift we've been talking about. In the Bible, we see this over and over. Prophets and disciples often experienced dreams and visions as a way for God to communicate with them about things to come. Think about Joseph in the book of Genesis. His dreams weren't just funny stories. They were a divine heads-up about a famine and a call to a special mission. Now let's talk about the chaos happening on the outside. Maybe your relationships are on the rocks. Maybe your finances are a mess, or your career path feels like it's been scrambled. It's natural to look at these things and think, what on earth is going wrong? But what if I told you that this external chaos is actually a reflection of an internal divine restructuring? That's right. God is moving things around in your life, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Jesus Christ often used parables to show us this. Remember in Matthew 13 the parable of the sower? The seed that fell on good soil was the one that grew strong. This restructuring is God removing the stones and weeds from your life, making your soil fertile for what's next. It's not about things falling apart. It's about things being reordered according to a divine blueprint. I've got a personal story for you. I had a friend who was in a really toxic relationship. It was eating him up, draining his energy and his faith. And even though he knew it wasn't good for him, he was terrified to leave. Suddenly, the relationship just imploded. It was painful and messy, and at the time, he felt completely lost. He cried out to God, "Why, Lord, why is this happening to me?" But looking back now, he sees that it was God clearing the path for him. That painful end was the beginning of his true spiritual and personal growth. He was able to focus on his relationship with Jesus Christ and find peace he never knew was possible. He realized that the chaos was a form of protection, a way for God to step in and say, "Hey, this isn't for you anymore. I've got something better." So when you see things in your life that seem to be falling apart, try to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing it as a catastrophe, see it as a divine cleaning, a spiritual purge. Your anxiety is a signal to slow down and listen. Your dreams are a message, and the turmoil in your life is a sign that God is working behind the scenes. This is all part of a larger plan, a crucial step in preparing you for what's ahead. And this preparation often includes removing people and things from your life that no longer serve your divine purpose, which is exactly what we'll discuss in our next point. Well, my friend, as we walk this path, you might have noticed something tough happening in your life lately. Maybe certain friendships have just faded away, or relationships that you thought were rock solid have dissolved, leaving you feeling isolated and a little lost. It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? It can make you wonder if you've done something wrong. But let me tell you something truly profound. This feeling of isolation and the loss of those connections are not a punishment, but a powerful act of Deus's divine protection. The Biblia is full of stories like this. Think of Abraham, called by Deus to leave his homeland and his family. He had to disconnect from everything he knew to follow a path of faith that would change the world. It was a painful, lonely process, but it was absolutely necessary for the grand plan of Deus to unfold in his life. He was being protected from the distractions and influences that would have kept him from his ultimate calling. This is precisely what Jesus Christo is doing for you right now. You see, some people in relationships, no matter how much we love them, can become spiritual anchors. They weigh us down, hold us back, and keep us from fully stepping into our purpose. Deus is so in love with you and so committed to your mission that he's willing to remove those burdens from your life. He is clearing the ground, as our topic mentions. It's like a gardener pruning a vine. The pruning might look harsh and painful, but it's done so that the vine can bear more fruit. In John 15:2, Jesus Christo says, "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful." It's a tough truth, but it's a loving act. Deus is making room for something new and more aligned with his will, and sometimes that means a few goodbyes. I had a friend who was always surrounded by people. He was the life of the party, but honestly, many of those people weren't encouraging his faith in Deus. In fact, they often pulled him away from his commitments to the church and to his spiritual growth. When he started to get serious about his relationship with Jesus Christo, a lot of those friends just disappeared. It was a tough, lonely season for him. He spent many nights wondering what was wrong with him. But in that solitude, he found something incredible, a deeper, more intimate connection with Deus. He spent that time reading the Biblia, praying, and really listening. He realized that the isolation wasn't a curse. It was a sacred opportunity. He wasn't alone. He was in a period of intense one-on-one discipleship with the Creator of the universe. So when you feel that sting of a relationship ending, or the silence of a friend who's no longer around, try to reframe your perspective. See it as Deus picking up a burden you didn't even realize you were carrying. He's removing the unnecessary weights that are holding you back from running the spiritual race. Think of it like this. If you were getting ready to climb a mountain, you wouldn't take a bunch of extra baggage with you, would you? You'd travel light. Deus is lightening your load so that you can ascend. This process is about preparing you for what's ahead, making you lighter and strengthening your core faith. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a powerful transformation, a quiet power-up. This period of disconnection is paving the way for something truly remarkable. It's a time of deep recalibration where you're not just surviving, you're becoming more powerful. As the world around you becomes louder and more chaotic, you are being prepared to operate on a different frequency entirely. You're learning to hear the voice of Jesus Christo in a way you never have before, and that's an incredible superpower. Your stillness isn't just about waiting, it's about raising your vibration, something we'll talk about next. My friend, you're not just being protected in this period of stillness, you're being elevated. This quiet season isn't a passive state of waiting, it's a profound portal to ascension. Think of it like this. The world, with all its fear, anger, and division, is descending into a lower, more chaotic frequency. It's like a radio station playing static. But Deus is calling you to tune into a different station entirely, a higher divine frequency of peace, clarity, and purpose. Your quietness is the very act of adjusting your spiritual dial. While the world gets louder and more frantic, you, the chosen one, are becoming more attuned to the gentle, powerful whispers of Jesus Christo. This is a deliberate spiritual separation, and it's essential for what comes next. The Biblia shows us this time and again, where Deus set his people apart from the world to prepare them for a mighty purpose. This ascension isn't some mystical, abstract concept. It's a tangible transformation in your spirit. The more you embrace this quietness, the more powerful you become. It's a paradox, isn't it? The world teaches us that power comes from noise, from action, from being seen and heard. But Deus's kingdom works differently. True power comes from stillness and a deep connection to the Creator. In Isaiah 30:15 it says, "In repentance and rest is your salvation. In quietness and trust is your strength." The quietness you're cultivating is not weakness. It is the source of your strength. As you ascend in frequency, your spiritual eyesight becomes sharper, your understanding of Deus's plan becomes clearer, and your ability to stand firm in your faith becomes unshakable. You become an eagle, soaring high above the storm, not just trying to survive it. And this is where things get really interesting. When you operate on this higher frequency, you become a challenge and a threat to the forces of evil. Why? Because evil thrives on the lower frequencies of fear and chaos. It wants you anxious, distracted, and overwhelmed. But a spirit filled with the peace of Jesus Christo is a light in the darkness, a beacon that disrupts the enemy's plans. Think of the story of Daniel in the lion's den. He was in a situation of ultimate chaos and fear, but his deep faith in Deus and his quiet confidence made him unbothered. The lions, representing the forces of evil, had no power over him because he was operating on a frequency that was far above their reach. Your stillness and peace become your spiritual armor, making you a formidable opponent to anything that isn't of Deus. So how do you keep your spiritual dial tuned to this divine frequency? It's a daily practice, my friend. It's about filling your life with things that elevate your spirit and cutting out things that drag it down. It's about spending time in praise and worship, reading the Biblia, and being in prayer. It's also about being mindful of what you let into your mind and heart, the music you listen to, the shows you watch, the conversations you have. I had a mentor who once told me, "Your spiritual life is like a garden. You have to be intentional about what you plant and what you pull out." This period of quietness is your chance to pull out the weeds of the world and plant the seeds of Deus's truth, preparing your soul for an incredible harvest. This profound peace you're building within is not just for your own good. It's a powerful weapon you'll wield during the coming storm. The world will tempt you to react, to get angry, to get lost in the noise, but your quiet, steady peace will be your greatest defense. It is your faith in action. And that, my friend, leads us to the final point: how to resist those temptations and maintain that inner calm no matter what. Now we're at the very heart of the matter. After all the quietness, all the divine restructuring, and all the spiritual elevation, you're going to face the ultimate test: resisting the temptation to get pulled back into the chaos. The world, my friend, is like a powerful current, and it will try its best to drag you back into its swirling vortex of noise and fear. Every headline, every social media post, every anxious conversation will be a temptation to abandon the peace you've cultivated. But here's the crucial truth. This quiet, steadfast peace is your most powerful weapon and your ultimate protection during this storm. The Biblia says in Romans 12:2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This is your charge. Don't let the world's frenzy hijack the calm you found in Jesus Christo. Stand firm in your faith, because this peace isn't just for show. It's your battlefield advantage. Why is peace so powerful? Because it's a direct reflection of your unwavering faith in Deus. When the world sees you calm while everything around you is panicking, they see a living testament to a power far greater than anything on this earth. The forces of evil, and the people operating on those low frequencies, want you to react, to get angry, to be afraid. That's how they win. But when you refuse to engage, when you respond with a peaceful spirit, you become an immovable object against an unstoppable force. Jesus Christo himself said in John 14:27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." This is a supernatural peace, a divine gift that the world can't understand, and certainly can't take away from you. It's your ace in the hole. I had a friend who was always on edge, always in a state of reaction to the news and what was happening in the world. He was full of fear and anger. I encouraged him to try something radical, to disconnect from the chaos and spend more time in prayer and reading the Biblia. At first, he found it incredibly difficult, but slowly a shift happened. He started to feel a sense of peace he had never experienced before. When a crisis hit his life, he didn't panic. He was able to sit in a quiet place, pray, and trust that Deus had a plan. This peace wasn't just a feeling, it was a powerful action. It allowed him to think clearly, to make wise decisions, and to be a source of calm for his family. He realized that his peace rooted in faith was his ultimate shelter. This inner calm isn't a passive surrender. It's a profound act of spiritual warfare. When you choose peace over panic, you are actively declaring your trust in the sovereignty of Deus. You are telling the universe that no matter what storms may come, your anchor is firm in Jesus Christo. This peace is your protection because it shields your mind and heart from the darts of fear and doubt. It builds a spiritual fortress around you. Just as the Biblia in Ephesians 6 talks about putting on the full armor of Deus, your peace is a vital part of that armor, guarding you from the spiritual turmoil that will consume others. It allows you to move with purpose and clarity, even when others are stumbling in the dark. So as you navigate the days and weeks ahead, remember this final, crucial lesson. The quietness you have embraced, the intuition you have sharpened, and the spiritual frequency you have ascended to, all culminate in this: the ability to maintain your inner peace. Let this peace be your compass and your shield. Don't let the world's noise trick you into thinking you have to react. Your greatest contribution, your greatest act of faith, is to remain peaceful and centered in Deus. This is not the end of a journey. It's the preparation for a new beginning, a profound walk of faith that will set you apart from the rest of the world. Listen, my friend, you've just received a roadmap for the coming storm. Now you know that your peace, rooted in faith and your trust in Deus, is your most powerful weapon and your divine protection. I have to ask you, what part of this message resonated most deeply with you? Leave your thoughts and your spiritual experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and build this community of Jesus Christo's chosen ones together. If this message brought you even a moment of clarity, don't miss out on what's coming next. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our powerful, transformative content. And for your next step on this journey, be sure to click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now. Until next time, my friend, this is Jose signing off. Signing